The threat of China should be top of mind for most Americans. Sadly, it is not. Today, 3 experts laid out a horrific reality at a bipartisan hearing headed by Democrat Mark Warner and Republican Marco Rubio. Frankly, it sounded like the plot of the next James Bond movie with Xi Jinping as the ultimate nemesis. As a nation, one of our biggest flaws as Americans is being entirely too inwardly focused. Massive oceans separate us from most of the world. We are the center of our own universe, and on this subject, it really shows. Americans have spent the last year hyper-focused on problems invented by politicians and the media. We're told equity is a national emergency and white supremacy is our biggest threat to American democracy. In reality, these are just distractions used for political purposes. Our real problems are metastasizing rapidly while we hyperventilate over nonsense. And one of the biggest favors Donald Trump did for this country was at least wake us up to the threat of the Chinese Communist Party. According to Pew Research, 75% of Americans now view China unfavorably. That is up from 35% in 2002. That number shot up 20% over Trump's 4 years in office. It went up 13% in 2019 alone. And remember, that was before COVID. In other places, the awakening is happening faster. As of last year, 81% of Australians don't like China. And as bad as these numbers are, they should be far worse. Today's hearing, titled "The Long Arm of Beijing," started off with the revelation that the vast majority of Americans, have had all of their information stolen by the Chinese. Yes, I just said that. Take a listen to Bill Evanina, former director of the National Counterintelligence and Security Center under both Presidents Obama and Donald Trump. This is truly an eye-opening and incredible statement. Take a listen.
It is estimated that 80% of American adults have had all of their personal data stolen by the Communist Party of China. The other 20%, just some of the data.
80% of American adults have had all of their personal information stolen by China. Did you have any idea that this was really this bad? Be honest. Did you have any clue that the Chinese were this capable? 8 in 10 Americans. I didn't. I knew it was bad. I had no idea it was like this. The Chinese are harvesting all of our information, all of the world's information. They're gathering as much of it as they can. It is a massive operation by the world's largest country. Now sit back and imagine what they plan to do with it. The Chinese are stealing everything they can, even information about our DNA, information about our genes. That was reported today in this hearing. What are they doing with that? The Chinese are using social media to spy on us and the rest of the world as well, compiling massive amounts of data about foreigners for a very sinister reason. Listen to this.
The party now compiles dossiers on millions of foreign citizens around the world, using the material that it gathers to influence and target and intimidate, reward, blackmail, flatter and humiliate, and ultimately divide and conquer.
Blackmail, humiliate. They've got this on millions and millions of people. They have information about you. You would have no idea how they have it, but they do. And maybe they don't care about you, or maybe they do. You don't know. Are your kids on TikTok? You remember when Trump tried to ban that app? This is why. And everybody's joining it. And we look like idiots dancing around and giving away all of our information. One of the reasons the Chinese love social media is disinformation. Today's hearing harped on the threat of misinformation on social media being used to divide the people in this country. We've reported a few times on the Chinese support, financially even, for Black Lives Matter. They do support Black Lives Matter. This is a perfect example of why. Nothing benefits China more than a United States divided and obsessed with delusions like the idea that cops are running around murdering black people for sport. Race riots are a perfect distraction for the Chinese as they pull the rug right out from under us. Imagine how hard they laugh at us obsessing over George Floyd for an entire year. Mark my words, we will pay dearly for ignoring the real issues that this country has faced for so long and being distracted by all of this noise. The hearing also discussed the cost of all the blatant theft, all of that intellectual property theft we've heard about for the past few years. Here is another, and trust me, I get it. It's a very dry Senate hearing. But this is really important stuff, and this is a huge number. Listen to this staggering figure here.
The estimated economic loss last year from the country of China, just from known intellectual property and trade secret loss, is between $300 and $600 billion a year. It's a big number. What that means, it's between $4,000 and $6,000 per American family of four after taxes.
Remember, that's a guy that worked under Obama and Trump. The Chinese stole $5,000 from every single American family in this country last year. $5,000. To put it simply, the Chinese are preparing to control in some form or another the entire world. It seems pretty clear. The rapid expansion of China has been rather incredible to watch. The Chinese eventually learned that true communism does not work. They implemented capitalism, ownership of private property, but of course without all the pesky freedoms and annoying burdens of democracy. They have complete and total control over more than 1 billion people who are still motivated to work hard for a chance at a better life, even if it has to be in China. For as sinister and awful as the CCP is, their operation does work. You got to admit it. It works. The power they exert over the rest of the world is even more impressive, especially over America's greedy and naive political class. The Chinese employ several former U.S. politicians and D.C. insiders who spend day and night inside of this country in D.C. pushing a communist agenda, something that should be treason. And from what we learned today, the Chinese can scout with the best of them. They find them young and they turn them fast.
Are they forward-thinking enough to look at a state legislator, a mayor, a commissioner at the local level and say that person may one day be a member of Congress? Let's start working them now, get close to them, and have them adopt our favored narrative of China so that in the future, when they wind up in that position, they'll be more favorable to our views.
Absolutely, and it's a common practice.
So matter of fact, absolutely, and it's common practice. Yeah, they're going after young politicians. They know people that are going to get to D.C. eventually, and they get in their pockets real early. How scary is that? If we actually knew how many members of our current government are in bed with the Chinese Communist Party, it would likely be horrifying. Here's another stark warning.
No other country represents more of a threat to the United States, its economic security, and democratic ideals than China. And that China's ability to influence American institutions is, quote, deep, wide, and persistent.
It's a Democrat. This is bipartisan. Talking to a guy that worked for Obama and Trump. It's a real story, and it's really scary. But of course, most of the swamp, most of the DC insiders care far more about their own livelihood and making some good money while they're alive on this planet than the future of this country. And our corporate leaders mostly behave the same, selling out the United States quite often because the business is just so good in China. The Chinese market is just more valuable. Rapidly expanding middle class, 3 times the size of the United States. Who needs America when you got China? Companies that would not exist without the opportunities provided by this country, happy to bend over backwards to appease a country that hates freedom, enslaves Muslims, and has very sinister intentions.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.